All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started here. So we don't have enough seats. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, not enough seats. But I guess you guys are all here to learn about board policies. Is that kind of what you're doing here? All right. Well, welcome to our January 15th Board of Education meeting. Let us stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Before we begin, I'm going to have everybody here at the table introduce themselves to those of you out in the audience, starting here on my left.
Good evening, Scott Ashton, Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources.
Good evening, my name is Kelly Nevin. I am the newest member to the Commack team. I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Business and Operations. I'm very excited to be here. I've already had such a welcoming from the staff, and I'm just looking forward to building more partnerships with the community, students, staff, and yeah, happy to be here.
All right, thank you.
Dana Schultz, Board Trustee.
Good evening, Bill Hender, Board Trustee.
Good evening, Dr. Cox, Superintendent.
Gus Super, Board President. Good evening.
Nicole Goldstein, Board Trustee.
Tim Russo, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction.
Well,
Debbie Verga, District Clerk.
Kyla Gruber, Student Representative.
all right. At this point, I'm going to turn over to Dr. Cox for our administrative report.
Thank you, Mr. Huber. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our January 15th Board of Education meeting. I'm just going to quickly go over our agenda. We're really excited. We have some student recognition. If you haven't noticed, we should recognize students more often. This is as packed as I've ever seen this Hubs administration building. So I'm glad to have our men and women's soccer team here with us this evening to celebrate their achievements this year. Then we're going to have our student ex officio board member, Kyla, is going to share with us a quick update. We do have a district-wide safety plan addendum, DSHA's law, some Board of Ed policies, and then we're really excited at the end of the presentation to share with you our State of the District, our Learning and Development Academy. It's an incredible program that our staff have put together for new staff that are entering our district to learn a little bit more about the culture and some of the little nuances and things to make sure that they're successful here in Commack. So without further ado, I love this picture. It was, it was an absolute pleasure to watch these student athletes play this year. They are just an absolute class act. They are gentlemen, and the ladies, they are just so respectful. It's when you're at the game and you're standing on the sideline and student athletes start coming over and they shake your hand and they say hello to you, it's unbelievable. It gives me the chills, and I'm so happy to have you here this evening to recognize you. We're going to make this last as long as we can. Not tonight, just the road show of the soccer team. They've been presented with awards or a recognition at the town of Huntington. They've been recognized by Senator Matera at Commack High School. And so I'm going to ask Mr. Friel to come up, say a few words, and then introduce our coaches and recognize our incredible student athletes and their 2 state championship awards. Thank you, Mr. Friel.
Thank That's how you went through a room right there. Turn me down a little bit, that'd be awesome. First of all, I just want to thank the Board of Education for giving me a couple minutes just to recognize and congratulate and honor and thank these 2 programs right here. When you say what you want our student athletes to look like and be like when they leave our community, these are the examples that we give. And it's not just about the titles that we're going to talk about. These are great people, great leaders. They're our role models in the library, in the cafeteria, in the hallways. We love them just for what they represent. They come from great families. This is just a shout out to the Commack Soccer League. What you do each and every day, all the volunteers for 20 and 30 years, you should get goosebumps because this is the final product that we want to produce here in Commack each and every year. Really special what they did this year. For the first time in Suffolk County history, we had our boys and girls team from one school district win a state championship. So I'm just going to say we're the mecca of soccer in New York State right now. So a round of applause just to win that. I like to bring everything full circle. I just want to thank my coaching staff. You know, to be a coach in a public school is probably one of the hardest things, one of the toughest. There's a spotlight on you each and every day, and I'm kind of proud that Dave Moran leads our men each and every day, and he's a product of Commack. When you meet him, he just oozes love and pride for Commack, and that's how he coaches. And then Joe Brandolfino comes in, starts our 5 years ago, takes over our program. He's a product of Commack. Played for Dave Moran because he's older, and has took our program even to a higher level. We've been one of the best girls programs on Long Island for decades, but for the last 5 years, he's had the team in the county finals 3 out of 5. So this has been building for the girls. This is their first state title in school history. This is the third for the boys program, and there's not many school districts in New York State that could say they have 5 state titles. I'll bring it even more full circle. Andrew Mayrick, we brought on staff a couple of years ago. I'm so honored that Brandolfino and Mayrick, he looks like, I don't know what he looks like, Eminem back there, but he was coached by Dr. Hender in Kings Park, and now he's wearing pink hair. So, I mean, but that was a bet that if they won a state title, he would do that, and that just shows you the love in our athletic program. You know?
Ironically, we had the same bet, only I still have my hair. It's black, not gray, but, you know. Merrick, you look great back there, buddy.
I also want to just say publicly that both Dave Moran and Joe Brandolfino were named New York State Coaches of the Year. So that's a special honor. And both humble, both care for your children, probably more about their well-being, their mental health, and what they're going to do in life than their athletic performance on the field each and every day. So I'm going to talk about the girls program first, sort of like a Cinderella story. You know, they had some adversities, had some major injuries along the way. They took advantage of a regional opportunity that never was part of Suffolk County. And when they came off a tough defeat in the county championship, we gave everyone a fist and said, hey, we're going to make school history. We're going to make New York State history. And when we went up to states, to the regionals, it was me and Miss Reed, and we saw how focused they were in practice at Cortland. We did a tour. We had a nice picnic at a waterfall because of Brandolfino's planning. It was amazing. But after 5 minutes of that regional, I looked at Melissa Reed and said, this team's going to win a state championship. They just came out and dominated that team. And I just want to thank you for how professional they acted on that trip. Then we inherited a soccer groupie, and we brought up Mrs. Lippenholtz for your state run. She's wearing sambas, she's wearing shin guards. She thinks she's a soccer player now. It's hysterical. She's texting me and FaceTiming me at your state tournament because I was with the boys, and she's just so proud of it, and she just kept saying how professionally you acted, how unbelievable you were, and how you represented your parents and our school district. So I just want to thank the girls. They made an amazing run, and besides winning a state championship, it has to be noted, they stopped or ended Ward Melville's 3-year state championship run. So this could have happened early, but they were on a very historic run in Ward Melville, and they beat them in the semifinals, and that's something that is pretty special. But in August, I meet with all my athletes, my JV varsity athletes. I say, you got to do a couple things to really win a championship, right? Number one, you have to throw your egos down, accept and embrace whatever role you earn. Starter, first kid off the bench, maybe a kid who gets in once a week. If everyone, the parents, and you truly embrace that role, throw your egos out there, you can do something special. And this group did it. Number two, I said, leave your legacy. Leave your mark, especially the seniors. We had a special group, we knew it. Leave your legacy and your fingerprint on our program. And look around, you guys did it. You left my athletic program and our soccer program in a better state from when you started 4 years ago. We want to thank you. Third, we said give back to the community. Your leaders You're role models. You guys volunteer at Cougar Camp. You do free clinics for the community through the Booster Club, who's amazing. You go to practice at the middle school and you help practice with the little kids. That's why we're great, because of what you guys did. It was a 3-month dedication, right? I said cherish every practice, film session, annoying morning workout. Embrace it, and that's what these two groups did, and that's why you're champions. We are so honored and proud of what you did for us and how you brought a community together. The boys soccer team played in front of 3,000 people. They said it's the biggest event in Suffolk County history for an athletic event for soccer because of how passionate the community came together for Brentwood and for you guys. These people sitting here, they were on the sideline wanting to come into the game. Board members, superintendents, principals. That's why we're the community we are. That was one of the most unbelievable experiences you could be a part of. And you guys made that. You'll have it for the rest of your lives. You ending a 3-year run for Ward Melville and taking a unique role, a unique path, and winning a state championship you'll have that for the rest of your lives. So I know you've been very busy. I appreciate you guys probably have to go to practice today. I just wanted to come here, represent you to this community because we are honored and so proud of the people you are. So congratulations to both programs. I'm gonna call the girls coach up first. He's gonna call your names up. You can just come up and we're gonna take a picture with the Board of Ed up front. It's all right, your hands look awesome, I promise. You look great. Thank you.
All right, first, Coach Andrew Mayrick, come on up. It's perfect. Okay, I'm just going to read all the names out. We have Senior Charlotte Alaperti, Christina Angus, Ashley Arizonas, Ava Armstrong. Girls, come on up. We have Sam Benedict, Valentina Castelli, Melina Cerulli, Leah Cohen, Sadie Cowan, Ella Colhane, Sophia D'Alessandro, Captain Sophie Denson, Captain Madison DiBartolo, Alessia DeBella, Catherine Edwards, Sarah Frank, Rebecca Gillen, Danny Hogan, Jenna Maxwell, that's a lot of names, Brianna Mender, Abigail O'Brien, Carly Pulsini, Sydney Raft, Mackenzie Ryan, Olivia Savick, Samantha Skaggs, Claire Suss, Katia Tagliento, Palma Zuvella.
Yeah.
Guys, slide into the middle. Yeah, thank you. I don't.
Hiya. Congratulations. Thank you.
Next thing I'm going to call up is the boys varsity program, and I forgot, I don't write things down when I talk. One special thing I think is pretty cool, besides winning a state champion, the Coach of the Year in New York State, I think it's pretty awesome. Dave Moran has been part of all 3 of our state championship runs. He was a player in '95 alongside Dr. Hender. He was an assistant coach on the 14 team. And then he's the head coach this year, so I think that's pretty awesome. I wanted to say that I forgot. So boys, we're going to call Dave Moran up and he can give, you're going to call the kids up here? He says he memorized it.
Good evening, everyone. Before we get started, when I was at the awards ceremony in December, a couple of the other coaches said, "Who are all those people that are always on your sidelines?" So that's just a testament to the board. We had so many people coming out, our district administration, our building administration, on top of all of our parents that were out. People just couldn't believe how much support we have from the top down. So thank you to everybody who is on our sidelines. I don't know how many guest lists we had to make the district pay for, but either way, it was great having you guys there. So I appreciate all of you very much. I'm going to call the guys up one at a time, kind of as I see them. So first up, let's go Farron Spaggi. Zach Bloom, Jack Lennon, Miko Tachillo, Ryan Curcio, Benji Hatena, Francesco Justinsik, Nick Lasardi, Aiden DePrima, Tyler Abbott, Jordan Gleit, Sebas Troncoso, Brady Piron, Chris Marici, Alessandro Cristiano, Jacob Weiss, Arbon Parlaku, Dylan Mender, Brian Singer, Parker Chute, Logan Gatto, Joe Palmieri. Get everybody up here. Slide down, slide down. Jackson Krauthammer, Caleb Curlew, Paul Marasevic, Sebi Bigos, and Christian Lasardi. And of course, our three captains, Luke McDonough, Ryan Schalk, and Braden O'Boyle. We had a lot of great awards this year, but before you guys take a picture, Saturday, Braden will be awarded over in Philadelphia and receive his All-American gear. He's the first All-American I've ever coached, and the second on the boys' side. Thank you, Mr. Friel.
As they're sitting down, I just want to thank every parent that's here. You are not in this room as an athlete if you don't have a dedicated parent that is bringing them to every practice, game, tournament, showcase since they're 5 years old. I know many of your faces, so I just want to thank you so much for your support of the coaching staff and of the school district, and thank you for just producing great human beings. So congratulations to the parents as well. Thank you.
And to our student athletes and their families, as much as I know you might want to stick around and listen to board policy, I'm sure that student athletes have plenty of homework and things to do to get ready for school tomorrow. So if you want to stay, you're more than welcome, but you're also free to leave if you would like.
Right.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you all. Next year you can do it under lights. What's that?
Pick.
That would have been a big audience for you.
We both know they're leaving here, bringing them on the street on their phone,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll just give him a minute. All right, at this point in our presentation, I'm going to ask Mr. Russo to give us a little update on our Multicultural Festival, which is coming up soon.
Thank you, Dr. Cox. Yes, so March 7th from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. at Commack Middle School will be our annual Commack Multicultural Festival. At this point, our chair people, Ms. DiRienzo and Ms. Lascano, are working closely with our students and putting together a wonderful event. It's been phenomenal. It's grown each year, and we're really excited, and it's really an awesome event for our families to come out and see. So again, that's March 7th at the middle school from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., and looking forward to seeing a lot of you there.
Thank you, Mr. Russo. At this time, I'm going to ask Kyla to share with us her student report.
Hi, everyone. So for today, since there hasn't been many updates since the last meeting due to the winter break, I'm going to be instead reflecting on my role so far as a student board member since the start of the year, since we're also at the halfway mark already. This role has been very, very meaningful to me, and I really enjoy all that I do, especially because I'm able to share student voices in a place where students aren't necessarily always able to be here. I'm very thankful to the board for this opportunity and also for always making me feel like my perspective is truly valued and that the student voices are really heard and that you guys are genuinely listening to them and care for them. I also wanted to thank the board and all of the Commack administration for all that you do for our school district and the students. I've always known how much you guys put in, but now in this role I can truly see more how much time, dedication, and work goes into all that you do, not only to these meetings, but to the school in general. And I'm really thankful because you make Commack a great place, and everyone loves it. Part of this role, I get to meet regularly with Dr. Cox, and I think that might be the most meaningful part of it for me, because being able to share with you everything that I'm hearing, seeing, and experiencing as a student, and having that be respected and actually listened to and cared for is really special, because the student perspective now is heard, and I'm sharing it every month at these meetings where this hasn't happened before. And it's just the start now, so I'm excited to get it started. And I'm also very happy that every month or maybe a couple times a month, I get to visit one of the schools and actually talk to the students. When I first was told about this position and how I could potentially be the one sharing student voices for our district, I knew I couldn't do that without actually talking to the students and hearing from them, because I'm in one school, just the high school, and even that, I don't know what every student's experience is like. So I've been able to go to, so far, all the primary schools, and it's been really a great experience, not only to see how their school is and how they love it, but how different it is from when I was there. Mostly because of the Commack champion traits, which is a new thing. And at Indian Hollow, when I recently visited, they were talking about all the ways that they highlight those traits, how well they know those traits, and they use those words like I probably didn't even know them. It was right before winter break when I visited Indian Hollow, and they mentioned how they have spirit days, and I assumed that meant like dressing up for the winter break, which they also did have. It was Spirit Week or Spirit Day, but they also have spirit days where they like highlight students who have those Commack champion traits with the loudspeaker, and they get to have a lot of leadership roles there in the primary school. The students at Indian Hollow were so excited to show me around the school, which was a theme through all the primary schools that I've been to, because they really do love everything about it. They're so proud of the teachers they have, their classes, what they're learning. They loved their playground and everything that they did there. they really liked, they have this book, like vending machine type of thing, and they got to give me a book, and I've never seen people so excited to get me a book. It was so cute, but it was really nice, and they really loved it, and just all the special things that they have at each of these schools. The one thing when I asked them what would they want at their school is they said they wanted a mascot, which goes to just show how much they like love their school and their spirit and everything that like that. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Kyla. And of course, Kyla, if you have some studies this evening, you're free to go as well. But you're also welcome to stay. Yeah, midterms. At this time, I'm going to invite Mr. Palapoli up to the microphone to talk a little bit about our district-wide safety plan. We did present a little bit on Disha's law, but Mr. Palapoli is going to share with you the next step in that process.
Thank you, Dr. Cox. I don't think it's fair I have to follow Ms. Gruber every time when I present. It's a big act to follow, but I'll do my best. So yes, Governor Hochul actually recently passed legislation wanting districts to incorporate DSHA's law into a district-wide emergency safety plan. DSHA's law is a law that Governor Hochul signed into legislation that focuses attention on sudden cardiac arrest and ushers in requirements for school districts to incorporate pre-existing emergency protocols into district-wide safety plans and building-level response plans. I will touch on some of those items. Luckily for the district, we have a lot of these things in place already, but recognizing signs and symptoms of a cardiac emergency, staff and administration's actions have taken during a cardiac emergency, trained and CPR certified staff members, and location of AEDs in school buildings. Lastly, contact phone numbers to call for obtaining help in a cardiac emergency. Tonight's board meeting concludes a 30-day review of that period, and these changes will be voted on by the board tonight if approved. Any questions?
Questions from the board? No? I definitely wanted to point out, I know Mr. Friel is here with us this evening, and between Mr. Friel, Mr. Palapoli, Mr. McAllister, our Director of Security, they have been going building to building at faculty meetings, conducting training, and I had the opportunity to attend a few of them, and it's absolutely incredible that we're able to have staff to provide that training to entire faculty members. So when we submit this and it's part of our plan, the number of staff members that are certified in addition to coaches or security guards, but even just giving that general knowledge to our staff in general at faculty meetings is going to go such a long way. And I know how appreciative the staff are. I think that Mr. Friel, you could probably speak to, there was a time when Mr. Friel conducted a training and one of the staff members ended up using that training on a family member at home and saving a life. So the fact that we're going building to building and being able to provide that knowledge is so valuable. So thank you, Mr. Friel, and thank you, Mr. Palapoli, and Mr. McAllister, who's in the back, for organizing these trainings. Much appreciated. Thank you.
I just want to say that in Locust Valley, we did have an incident where a student had a cardiac incident during a tryout, and if it wasn't for the trained staff, he wouldn't have made it, so I appreciate the effort.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said earlier, Mr. Friel, we've gone over a couple times, and the AEDs throughout the district and the trainings has in place already. We're already ahead of the game based on this law, so we're in a good place as a district for sure.
Thank you, Mr. Palapoli. Any other questions from the board? All right. So moving on, I'm going to ask you if you could pass the baton to Dr. Inforna, who will now take us through our policy. We're really excited about this, Dr. Inforna.
Thank you, Dr. Cox. Appreciate it. All right, so in all honesty about excitement, I do have something new and exciting to share about our board policy. I've been sharing this slide for a long time. I think it's important to give the history that in 2019, the board spent a lot of time redoing its entire book. Over the last year, I've been fortunate enough to serve with 10 people on the BOCES Policy Advisory Committee throughout the state, and they'd offer us an opportunity for a new service that allows the board to be even more proactive than it already is, with board policy. So I'm pleased to announce that tonight is the first part of a new program or service with BOCES, where we're doing quarterly and as-needed audits rather than annual audits. So the board can certainly rest assured it was already up to date, but now, of course, it's going to be up to date on a more regular basis, if that makes sense. So with that, a couple of policies tonight, just to quickly go through for presentation's sake. There's a summary on the board for the board to see and the public to see. These are later on the agenda for the board vote, but just to name a couple, there is a new policy about the disclosure of employee disciplinary records through FOIL, which says that we must inform the employee, of course, that their disciplinary records were FOILed. That's state law. There's a recommendation to delete a policy that's significantly outdated. Doesn't mean we don't follow the law anymore. We still do, of course. We always have to follow the law, but the policy is outdated and segments of it were farmed out to other policies. Continuing on, there is a new policy about artificial intelligence. The work this district has done this year with artificial intelligence, led by Ms. Pulliam, has been outstanding, and we continue to do that work. This policy is one step forward to doing so in a way that is not only highly effective, but is smart, safe, and aligned with state and federal law. In addition, we have a new policy related to cybersecurity incidents response. Again, this is a new policy that's in response to laws set by state or federal regulations. There's a new law with leave of absences that addresses nursing mothers. And there's a new one about graduation requirements. And this one I want to point out because I did find it kind of funny. Portrait of a graduate has been certainly discussion amongst state ed. It's been changing. So BOCES actually put a link to the state in there instead of writing all the information into the policy. So now as the state changes, we don't need to go ahead and change the policy every time the state may change direction or change a graduation requirement, which is very helpful for us. So with that being said, certainly later in the agenda, the board will be asked to vote on these policies, a couple of new ones. We're going to delete one and a number of revisions. So that is considered Q2 at this point in the year. I'll see you in again. Actually, BOCES said to me they're going to mail us the next one next week when they get this one back, and we can continue to move forward in keeping our policies as up to date and relevant as possible. So with that, of course, Dr. Cox, any questions?
Questions from the board?
Yeah, I just have a question about the graduation requirement.
Yep.
Was there any significant changes, or are we pretty much?
So with that policy specifically, it adds a link so that we do not have to, if the state says we're going to do X, Y, and Z and then change, it just keeps there were other parts of the policy that moved to farmed out to other policies with here. So in terms of the graduation requirement itself, no significant changes. It just keeps us aligned and at pace with the state.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Inforner.
Yep, no problem.
Any questions?
So this I'm thrilled to be able to share with you this evening, the Learning and Development Academy. This is something that Commack has created in-house. We have staff members that will be presenting our Learning and Development Academy with you. It's for new staff that we hire. There was a time when we were not hiring staff. There was a time where maybe we were hiring 1 or 2 staff. We had 40+ retirements last year. It was critically important that the district had a Learning and Development Academy in place to support new teachers, to make sure that they thrive when they come to Commack. And I can't wait for you to hear about some of the things our staff members have done to put this in place, as well as some of our staff members who are here with you to share their experiences. So I'm going to turn the mic, I think, back over to Dr. Inforner first, and Dr. Santarello as well. And Mr. Basolka.
Thank you, everyone, so much for the opportunity to talk to you tonight about the Learning and Development Program, but also just the way that we engage and empower our new educators and our staff in the district. So like Dr. Cox said, this was something that came really out of a post-COVID conversation, that we had the opportunity to redesign what this program could look like. And with that in our minds, the bigger piece of that was we knew that this large amount of retirements was on the horizon. And we wanted to get ahead of the curve rather than trying to figure something out as we were rebuilding a team. We were losing so many amazing educators that we wanted to make sure we had a plan in place when our new staff came in, that they felt like part of the culture and the community, and they felt like they were really valued as staff from the moment they walked in the door. So this program has been going on now for about 5 years, and we've added to it as it's gone on. So I'm just going to turn it over to Dr. Inforna to explain a little more about it.
All right, thank you. So listen, everything we do is certainly intentional. And when we talk about our new educators, our new staff, whether that be new lunch monitors or sub-custodians, whatever it may be, the purpose is about connection. When an organization, whether it be a school, a company, whatever it may be, the most important thing, and if anybody's familiar with Peter Drucker, he always said, culture eats the, bagel and pizza parties for breakfast. Like, there's nothing better than organizational culture to impact real change. So everything we've done, whether it's the programs that we talk about in a few minutes, like Welcome Wednesday, or the educational mentoring program, or the teacher mentoring program, all those are done with purpose. And it's done with purpose to create a connection between the individual, to the organization, to the work they do, so that we can enrich our culture to have outcomes. And those can be student outcomes, those could be lasting values, teacher retention, of course, and many, many more, such as organizational commitment. So this is important to us because we want you to know that the programs you're going to hear about are intentional programs to enrich the culture of teaching, learning, leading, and supporting education within our schools. So with that, one of our programs is called Welcome Wednesday, and this program is something that we put together for all staff. It's called Welcome Wednesday, not just because it happens on a Wednesday, but it happens because we want to make sure that every new staff member, whether you're a sub, whether you're a lunch monitor, whatever it may be, you have an opportunity to come hear from district leadership. And what I love about Welcome Wednesday is that it's the first time that our new employees get to, see Dr. Cox, see Mr. Russo, hear from Mr. Oshrin, hear from, district leadership about what it's like to work in Commack. And one of the things I always kind of start with and say is, listen, I've been here 20 years and I love it. I'm going to tell you, you're going to too, because there's nowhere like this place. And with that, it's outstanding. And I even love when people say, like, oh, like, Mr. Oshman will be like, all right, when everybody tell us what you do and what your plan is, like, oh, what do you do? I'm just a sub. And I'll cut them off right there. Like, no, you're not just a sub. Like, stop saying that. Everybody here does something aligned to what we do in schools. Whether you're the custodian, keeping the classroom healthy and safe so students can come and learn and, come to school not sick and learn, and that's amazing. Like, everybody does something and it's incredible. So staff members come to Welcome Wednesday. To sum up, they do hear about our Board of Education goals. We create alignment into what their actions look like in practice. We tell them about our programs. We tell them about who we are, why we do things, et cetera. And just to share, what you see on the screen there, it lives on our Welcome Wednesday website, on the district website. We created like a yearbook. Like, we want people to know they matter from the moment they come. So class of 2024, you can see there, you can go back, you can look at the years that we've been doing this. It kind of lives in perpetuity on our website. What staff also leaves it with, which I think is important, is, we're now doing it digitally, so everybody gets their little ID buddy, and, we gave it to members of the board so you can see too. Something they could walk around with to kind of spark a conversation and create connections with their colleagues. Say hi to me. My name's Mike Inforna. Oh, hey, Mike, how you doing? So get to know the people in their building, but on the back too is a QR code that takes them to our Employee Resource Center, so that as you're new and you're learning the system and you're like, wait, where do I go to do those video tutorials that everybody loves doing? GCN, how do I get there? You scan the QR code, it tells you everything you need to know. So Dr. Hen is laughing, he knows those videos. So, so Welcome Wednesday, I don't want to call it a staff orientation. I want to call it a welcome to our newest staff members, our newest family members, and that's where we learn who you are, who we are, so that everybody can do forward and what's best for kids. I just wanted to share a couple of things. We do a new staff member survey, so every new employee that comes to the district has access to the survey. I think it's really cool to kind of see whether it be a lunch monitor, whether it be a sub-custodian, what they're saying about working in the Commack schools. From warm welcomes all around to Commack has a great culture. It's clear people love what they're doing. I feel very supportive to, like, hey, my first few weeks were perfect. I couldn't imagine anything better. And to quantify it a little bit, I took some of that survey data, and just one I want to highlight is leadership responsiveness. 100% of the people that responded to that survey said that their supervisor was there to answer questions in a timely manner and present on the first day. Now, if you think about setting a tone, just being present sends a communication to a new employee that what they do matters to us, and I think that's very important. Additionally, we started a new program probably about 3 years ago at this point, our educational leader mentoring program. In a lot of ways, we had some new folks coming in who were maybe not necessarily a new director or a new principal, but they were new to Commack. And then we had some people as well who were starting not only new to the
position, but here at Commack. So we wanted to create a program that supports new leaders in understanding who Commack is, why Commack does what it does, and how to be successful in Commack. So our educational leader mentoring program pairs up, a seasoned Commack administrator with a new Commack administrator, whether, again, new to the system or not, so they can help them navigate, learn how to align themselves and their actions to what the district values, what our priorities are. And it's been a great program for our new folks because it's helped them navigate what it is to be a leader in the Commack schools. Some of our latest mentor mentees, shared a few words about what it was like to be in this program. Some are saying developing a relationship has been the most important part. Learning about what happens not just in one school, but all schools, and understanding how actions in one school, align to district values and how those actions may look different in another school. So it's been great for our new folks to come in, to have somebody that they can go to help them, with any questions or things they might have to discuss about being a part of the Commack community. And I think it's great to see, too, that we've even seen, that from the district office level, that what's being built is trust, a sense of belonging, and our new leaders are coming in with more and more confidence, as the years goes on from year 1 to year 2, et cetera. So those are two new programs when we think about what it's like to welcome new people and new leaders into the district. After that, Jen's going to talk a little bit about the educator side of it.
Thank you. So in addition to our admin mentoring program, we have also always had a CTA mentoring program. And I just want to thank Mr. Basilka for joining us because we have created a really great partnership working with the CTA in order to have a really amazing program for our new CTA members. So we do meet the state requirement of mentoring any new staff members who have their initial certification in order for them to move forward to get their professional certification. However, as we do many things, we felt that it was important to go above and beyond and make sure that we were really reaching out to some other groups of people that we felt really also needed mentors. And that was new staff to the district who had been in previous, in other districts. They came to us with so much content knowledge and so many amazing ideas, but it was important for us to have a point person for them to get to know the district, to get to understand the culture, and really just some of those logistical things that new people to a district might not know about. And also we added a mentorship to our counselors, social workers, and psychologists, which is not a state mandate, but we felt that as instructional educators in the district, it was important to provide them mentorship as well. This program for the CTA mentoring is a 1-year program through the district, and we assign mentors and working with the CTA. However, for the year 2 through 4 staff, as they work their way towards tenure, the CTA has worked with us to initiate the buddy program. So I just wanted to have Mr. Basilka speak about that a little bit.
Sure, thank you. So thank you for this opportunity to speak. Like Jen said, we created a buddy program with our CTA members, working with our younger staff, our newer staff for years 2 through 4. We've built in a number of check-ins. I'm sorry, I'm going really fast. So we've built in a number of check-ins, whether it be Google Form, or we have opportunities for both the mentor and the buddy and the person who's the more seasoned teacher who's working with them to check in 3 times a year. We follow up. We have a timeline, whether it be open house check-ins, making sure our younger teachers are ready for open house, what worked well last year, what can we do, what can we improve on for this year. Parent conferences does make everybody nervous, so how do we help our younger staff, just reach those parents, have more successful conversations, be better in their observations, move forward, reach their students, get to their content the best that they can. So these are all things that we are working with these younger teachers going forward. We have our teacher volunteers. We have many of them who are CTA reps, but not all of them are. We have these reps who have a great relationship with their admin, so they do work in a partnership to make sure that the teachers are meeting the expectations. These seasoned teachers, these reps, they know what the expectations are. They know how to help guide these teachers. They know the culture of Commack as we've been discussing, and so we're really working to drive this forward. This was really created because I guess when I first came on, we had a number of teachers who made it 3 years and didn't make it to that 4th year. And it was they had 3 successful years, they had 2 successful years, and we just felt like we were missing the bus. It was almost like we were fishing and just not getting the fish on the boat. You know, we're like losing it at the boat. So like, what are we missing? We're making it past year one, we're making it past year two, and then things are falling short. So this program was designed to just intervene, to help keep the guardrails on, to help all of our young teachers, you know, be those successful, fantastic teachers that we've come to know in Commack. So it's really been a great experience so far. I even want to close with today. I got a call from one of my younger teachers who was in, you know, our program. She was in my seminar last week for my first year teachers, and she was remarking how her friends in her other district don't have something like this, and how necessary this is, and how important this is. And they felt so plugged in, and they felt so helped that they could just go to, you know, this teacher, go to their buddy. You know, it's not just in a meeting, it's not just after school, it could be any time during the day. So we dedicated these buddies to be, if it's a discipline, let's say it's math or social studies, it's a secondary level, then the buddy is also in that discipline. They are nearby, all right? They are on that grade level. They are in the same area, and they are absolutely that number one resource for them. And the intention is that they will work with them all the way through tenure, and then beyond if necessary. So it's really that touchstone that we're driving to help our young teachers be the best they can, and to drive this Commack culture forward. Thank you.
So that's a great segue into what makes this district really unique, is certainly the opportunities that we have for our new educators. And the Learning and Development Academy is certainly kind of the center of all of that. This program was created kind of out of all of our own experiences. When I first became a teacher in a different district, I was given like 4 textbooks, and I was told like good luck. And I also then went to a 2-day summer orientation, and then I just never saw those people ever again. So in talking to so many people that came up through Commack and their own experiences at their summer orientation, we wanted to create something that maybe, not only welcomed them to the Commack community, but then worked with them for the first 4 years of their career here, working through tenure, and giving them opportunities to learn and grow with us so that students could have the best educators possible, whether they were year 1 or whether they were year 21. So our summer orientation program is a 2.5-day program over the summer. It is intense learning for our new staff. It's really a busy 2.5 days. We welcome the entire administrative team in, and then we bring in different directors to talk really about their focuses and what's going to support those new educators. This year we didn't really fit in this room, so we kind of have had to travel around the district. We had to break up into 2 bus tour sections. We really didn't want to bring the bus tour back, but that was told to us. That was like one of the highlights of people's orientation programs, so we did it. And not only did we bring it back, but we also decided to start bringing students with us. We wanted to find a student component that we could have students talking to the new staff, and that was the way we did it. And it's been really amazing to hear the students sharing stories about what they love about their teachers and why they think this is such a great district. So that's our 2-day summer orientation program. But as I mentioned, this program now moves with the new teachers through their first year into year 4. So I'm going to ask, thank you, Mr. Vasilka. We're going to swap out some seats here. 3 of our amazing educators, Sydney, Kelly, and Crystal, to join me. I know the chairs are different, but please just find a chair. So I asked some of the teachers to join us because really I can talk, and Dr. Inforn and I could talk about this all day because we have sometimes when we're presenting about this, but I really wanted you to hear from the teacher's perspective just about what their experiences are. So we're going to start with Sydney.
Hi everyone, I'm a kindergarten teacher at Rolling Hills. It's my first year. Thank you so much for having us. I think I can speak on behalf of all 3 of us that it means so much that you invited us here to speak today. I started in Commack last year as a TA leave replacement, and I was invited to come to the new teacher orientation over the summer and the monthly meetings. And as a TA, you don't typically get invited to those things. So being able to learn through those experiences really meant a lot to me, and I became a better teacher because of it, and I got a leave replacement in a different district in December of last year. And when I left, I started mid-year, so I didn't get to go to a new teacher orientation and meetings each month. So I was able to look back on what I had learned at those meetings, and it really helped me a lot as a new teacher. And then this year, I was very fortunate to get a probationary position at Rolling Hills, and it was so exciting to be back in Commack for so many reasons, but mostly because I knew the amazing support that they have for new teachers, between the orientation, the monthly meetings, the mentor program, and collaborating with different colleagues. So every month we meet with all the first-year teachers, and I keep in touch with all of them. I text another kindergarten teacher at another school, and we talk about where we're at in the curriculum, and we share resources. So that's been such a wonderful opportunity as well. And it really is, between everything, the support you feel. Usually being a first-year teacher is supposed to be very daunting, and it really doesn't feel that way at all. Between the administration and my principal and my colleagues, it's been such a wonderful experience so far, and I feel very fortunate. And I do, as they said before, in other districts, my friends who are teachers don't have the same experience, so I feel very fortunate to have that as well.
Hi, my name is Kelly McFadden. I am a third grade teacher at Sawmill. So I love learning and development. I am always so excited to go to all of the meetings, even after a long day at work. It could be very overwhelming to start at a new district, especially being a big one, or even being an educator already in the district, such as myself. I've had the pleasure of being multiple different positions, and this is my second year in my own classroom, and I'm still learning a lot in these meetings. The most meaningful part to me is the collaboration aspect. I'm able to come meet with my colleagues from all different buildings, build those relationships, and we just really reflect on what is going on in all of our classrooms. And it's nice knowing that everyone else is going through the same thing that I'm going through. It's comforting. We're able to share, some challenges we might face, celebrate those small victories, and really become the best versions of ourselves as teachers for our students.
Hi, everyone. I'm Crystal Curcio. I'm a third-year teacher at Commack High School. I teach social studies. Piggybacking off of everything that they've already said so far, thank you so much for the opportunity to come and speak to you. Also for the opportunities, the resources, and the time that you put into the Learning and Development Academy. Dr. Santarello herself coming to all of our meetings, running them, creating the activities. It's a really nice space where you get to kind of bond with the cohort of people you're hired with, because becoming a new teacher is a very intimidating time period, especially when you're straight out of college. So coming to these meetings, one of the things that out of college, becoming a new teacher, you're really told is work on your relationship with students and your rapport. And one of the things that I've learned throughout these meetings is the relationship building that you have with your colleagues is just as important, because it's going to help you then foster those relationships with students even better. Some of my closest friends are people that I've met in the learning and development meetings, phys ed members in my own building who I probably wouldn't have interacted with if I didn't go to these meetings. But I got to build these relationships with them, and it opens a lot of opportunities, not just to have another face that you know in the building, but also to collaborate on lesson ideas that are interdisciplinary and that you could go across content with. As far as the stuff that we cover in meetings, so far we've looked into 2 different books. So we'll kind of do like a book club where we talk about the different chapters, different instructional strategies, different ways to approach conflicts that you might face in the classroom, or positive things like contacting parents and reaching out to them for the good things. So the books are inclusive of everything that you could possibly face, and we've done some really great activities with these books. And sometimes it's as simple as like a stations activity around the room where you're drawing what you think the chapter represented. And to a lot of people, it's like, oh, you're just drawing. But that's something that I then am able to utilize in my classroom. And I teach high school social studies. So how am I using something like that? It's the ability to take a lesson and differentiate it to meet the needs of my students. Where I have an IB global politics class that I'm lucky enough to teach this year, it's very content heavy. There's a lot of writing, there's a lot of difficult information for students to understand, and it's challenging. So how do I engage them in lessons that's not just sitting at a desk? I'm able to use that stations activity and give them different prompts to discuss that are things that they might see on their IB exam come May. So they're able to walk around the room with different perspectives, collaborate on ideas together, and it's different from the traditional essay that they're writing every quarter. So it's a way to integrate authentic assessment into the classroom. It's a way to learn new strategies, build our relationships, and it's honestly one of the best things that Commack has for new teachers.
Thank you. And this year will be our first year of year 4 staff. So we are looking forward to hosting a graduation, we have decided. It feels like everyone in year 4 was like, well, we're going to have a graduation, right? So we've been together for so long, and yes, of course we are. So they will be graduating out of the program this year. And one of the other great things that we've been doing is offering opportunities for staff who are graduating out of the program to come back and speak to the newer staff as well. These 3 are absolutely amazing educators, but when I chose them and asked them to come speak, I was unaware at the time that all 3 of them are Commack grads. And so I just think that, again, it just shows you the passion and the love for the community here is outstanding. And we were talking today just about the sheer number of Commack grads that now work here, from administration at the entire high school to some of our newest teachers, and it really is amazing that they want to come back here and be teachers here. So thank you. Just to close, we do have one more amazing program that we rolled out 2 falls ago. We're now offering graduate level classes here at Commack for our staff. And this was such an amazing opportunity, again, in collaboration with the CTA. Christina Iannuzzi, who is currently a 6th grade teacher at the middle school, she was over at Northridge for many years, had been to one of my mentor trainings and said, I know that you mentioned wanting to bring more professional learning for staff. I actually teach through a program called ELT, and I worked with her, and we set up, a meeting with NICE at ELT and their program. And the most amazing part about this is that the graduate level courses that we've offered, we're allowed to pick them as a team. So we sat down together, went through the entire catalog, and decided what was really going to meet the needs of the district and what was going to align with our board goals in order to have the best program we possibly could. And the feedback we have received from this program has been absolutely amazing. Our staff love it. The best part about it is it really combines our newer staff with some of our more seasoned staff who are looking to go back and earn graduate credits. So they have had just wonderful things to say about the program. So we're excited to continue that moving forward and to offer those college level courses to our staff members. So that's it for us. We so appreciate your time and the opportunity to speak to you, but we'd be more than happy to answer any questions.
Questions from the board?
So I just want to make a comment. For the 3 of you here as newer teachers, just to have the confidence to sit here today and share and show the appreciation for all the support that you've been given is truly wonderful. And when we talk about culture, more than bagels and pizza, right? It is working together. It always is. So I appreciate the fact that the administrators, district-wide and building-wide, and CTA members are really working together to keep the culture going. Because one of my concerns with the turnover that we're having, we had like 40 new teachers this year, is preserving the culture. And that really is turning over the baton to you guys, but sharing the wisdom that we as administrators have here in the district, but also with the current teaching staff on board. So you guys have access to administrative support, but you also have friendly faces in the building, and I think it's just wonderful. So it's a great model, and kudos to all of you who put it together and work with it. So thank you from board.
Any other questions, comments from the board? Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for coming up here and speaking to the board and sharing your experiences. Even seasoned teachers sometimes get nervous to come up and speak to the board, and to have new teachers come up. You did a phenomenal job. It is an absolute daunting task. I've spoken to the CTA union leadership and similar concerns about the culture of the Commack School District. There is a level of pride here that's unlike any other. And to be able to provide this type of program to new teachers coming in, because we have hired definitely a number of new staff, and we have heard nothing but positive feedback about our new teachers, and they refer to new teachers as we've hired some absolute superstars. And so when you hear about things out there about teacher shortages and things of that nature, Commack is a place where new staff flock to, and we are so fortunate to have just an example of 3 superstar staff members here with us this evening to share with the board their experiences through the Learning and Development Academy. It's, we say all the time, the experiences that are here in Commack, and we're fortunate to have some teachers that come from other districts realize that the experience is not the same, and there's a certain level of care and love between the CTA union leadership, the board, the administrators, the teaching staff, the administrators, that shines through. So thank you so much for presenting this evening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank all of you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go around the applause.
That concludes our administrative report. At this time, I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Huber for board business.
Okay. All right. So I think we're going to go right into our first public session, right? So I'm going to ask Ms. Herman to read the Board of Education statement.
Good evening and welcome. We're so glad you're here with us tonight. Your voice matters, and we truly appreciate your involvement and interest in our schools. There are 2 opportunities for public comment during this meeting. The first is for comments related to items listed on tonight's agenda. The second, which takes place at the end of the meeting, is for comments on any general school district matters. If you'd like to speak on an agenda item, please take a white card. If you'd like to speak during general public participation, please take a green card. The district clerk will call speakers by number. When it's your turn, please come to the microphone, say your name, and let us know if you're a resident of the district. Each speaker has up to 3 minutes to speak and will kindly notify you when your time is up. Please direct your comments to the board only. These public comment times are for listening and gathering feedback. We won't be responding in real time, but if a question is raised that requires follow-up, we'll be sure to get back to you afterward. To maintain a respectful and welcoming environment, please avoid discussing individual students or making personal remarks, positive or negative, about specific staff members. And lastly, we want to make sure everyone feels heard. So we ask that comments remain respectful, focused, and not repetitive or disruptive. Thank you again for being here tonight and for your ongoing support for our students in schools.
So this is comments that are agenda items only. So if you have a white card number 1. Anyone with a white card?
No, good. We're good. All right. So we're going to move on. At this point, I'm going to acknowledge the correspondence that the board has received. I'm going to make a motion to accept several donations. We have a donation of $500 to establish the Marlena Graziano Memorial Scholarship for a graduating Commack High School senior. That is from Paul and Barbara Graziano. We have a donation from the Rosenblatt, Chiancito, and Colson families for $500 to establish the Theodore Castrinos Memorial Theater Scholarship for a graduating Commack High School, and that is from Dennis and Evelyn Rosenblatt. We have a donation from the Friends of the Marion Call Farm for $2,349. We have a donation of $15,000 for district programs which support students suffering from ADD, autism, and other developmental disabilities, and that is from Joseph Weiss and Francis R. Weiss Family Trust. And then we have a donation of $53.70 from the Box Tops for Education. Can I get a motion to accept these donations? Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right, I need a motion to approve the minutes from the December 18th, 2025 Board of Education meeting. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the personnel agenda? Can I get a motion? Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. And can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda items as presented and/or amended 2 through 13? Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. And be it resolved upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, the Board of Education approves the first reading of policy 3311 notification of disclosure of employee disciplinary records, policy 5413, which is procurement, uniform grant guidance for federal awards, policy 5681, school safety plans policy, school safety plans, policy 5683, evacuation, lockdown, and emergency dismissal drills, policy 5840, artificial intelligence policy, policy 5850, data networks and security access, policy 5851, cybersecurity incident response, policy 6550, leaves of absence, policy 7220, graduation requirements. And be it further resolved that upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the Board of Education approve the second reading and moves to adopt the policies tonight. Can I get a motion? Oh, is that a motion? That's not a motion.
No.
No motion.
Yeah,
No motion needed.
Yeah, motion.
It is a motion, yes. I'm getting a motion, please. Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Going to acknowledge receipt of the professional services from Bond, Schoenig, and King for the month ending November 31st, 2025, in the amount of $30,872.52. We are going to acknowledge the internal claims auditor's monthly update. Going to acknowledge the receipt of the Committee of Special Education recommendations, dates listed, and acknowledge the receipt of the Committee on Preschool Special Education recommendations, dates as listed. We're going to acknowledge the receipt of the November 26 financial reports as listed. And our next meeting, so the Board of Education for the Commack Union Free School District shall have its regular meeting on Thursday, February 12th, 2026 at 6 p.m. at Hub's Administration Building in East Northport, New York. It's anticipated that the board will make a motion for the purpose of adjourning into executive session at this time, and at 7 p.m. the board will reconvene in public session for the purpose of holding its regular business meeting. And at this point, we will have our second public participation, if there's anybody out there.
Okay, this is green cards. Green card number 1. Please come up, state your name.
Dahlia Calmer.
Okay, go ahead.
Good evening, members of the Board of Education, administrators, and the greater Commack community. My name is Dahlia Calmer, and I'm a junior at Commack High School. I'm here tonight to speak on behalf of the boys and girls Commack varsity swim teams and to advocate for the district to provide busing to swim practice. Many people in our district do not realize that Commack has a swim team. In fact, both our boys and girls swim teams have a long history of success. I've been a member of the girls varsity swim team since 7th grade, and my sister, Sydney Calmer, was a member of the team for 5 years and graduated in 2023. During our time on the team going back to 2018, we have seen incredible achievements, including team members that have qualified for Olympic trials. Many other swimmers on both teams have qualified for league, county, and state championships. This program is worth celebrating and supporting. However, despite that success, our team faces a major obstacle that limits participation and growth: transportation. Swim practice starts at 5:45 a.m. at the Huntington YMCA. Practice is off campus and there is no school-provided transportation. My parents drive me 20 minutes to the Huntington YMCA before 4:45 in the morning. They have to then sit in their car and wait until practice ends at 7 a.m. so that I can get back to school by 7:30. I'm fortunate that my parents are able to do this. Over the past few years, recognition of our swim team has grown. Many students have expressed interest in joining but simply cannot participate because they are unable to secure transportation. This means students are being excluded, not because of a lack of talent, commitment, or interest, but because of circumstances completely outside of their control. What makes this more difficult to understand is that the district we share with the team with, Northport, has provided busing for students for years. Northport students on the boys and girls varsity swim teams are provided with round-trip transportation to practice every morning to and from Northport High School and the Huntington Y. This makes it significantly easier for their students to participate. Commack is a district that prides itself on inclusion, yet without transportation, access to the swim team is limited. A school-sponsored bus would allow more students to participate, strengthen our teams, increase visibility for the program, and ensure that opportunities are equal for all students. Providing busing to swim practice is not just about convenience. It's about fairness, inclusion, and supporting student athletes who are willing to wake up before dawn to represent Commack with pride. I respectfully ask the board to consider implementing morning transportation for the boys and girls swim teams so more students can take advantage of this incredible program and Commack can continue to foster excellence, opportunity, and inclusion. Thank you to the board for allowing me to speak and taking this into serious consideration. Last, I would like to thank Mr. Friel for his mentorship, guidance, and generosity of his time meeting with me this year to discuss the matter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Green card number 2.
Hi, everybody. Can't really follow that, but as the parent of a swimmer who gets up at 5:45, I'm Tracy DeSena. I've been a resident of Commack for 25 years. I have 4 children, 3 of which have graduated Commack High School already. My son Logan is part of the varsity swim team for the past 3 years. We're very thankful that Commack actually merged with Northport so that he was actually able to compete in relays and go to states and have a team camaraderie just like all the other teams here in Commack. Since merging with Northport, we have represented Commack at the Long Island Challenge for the past 3 years, at the Suffolk County Championship, and at the New York State Championship last year in relays, and this year with 3 individual races as well. It has been a positive experience for the Commack swimmers. I'm here to request bus transportation be added to the budget for the 26-27 school year for the girls and the boys varsity team. All 3 of my children have played, 3 of the children have played varsity sports at Commack High School: fencing, lacrosse, golf, and tennis. All of the boys receive transportation to and from practice and for meets and for practices. The golf, bowling, and gymnastics team, all of which have low numbers of participants, have busing to practice, which is off campus at Commack High School. In fact, golf had 2 buses, JV and varsity, because they had different courses that they had to get to. Most of our student athletes compete at a club level as well as the varsity level within the same season. They have double practices, which means they are at practice before school, and they're at practice for club after school. They compete in meets for varsity during the week. They compete in meets for club on the weekend. It's a huge commitment, one that my son has chosen and that we have a family have chosen to support him with. Providing him with the team with busing for practice would alleviate some of the driving that most of us swim parents ultimately have to do in order for our child to participate in the sport that they love. Some parents have chosen not to commit their club swimmer to participate in varsity because they cannot manage this morning schedule. It is very unfortunate as we try to grow this sport in Commack. The girls' team has had a combined team for a couple of years, much longer than the boys. The boys it's just been the past 3 years. But the parents do commit their child to juggling work, sibling school times, and morning practices, and then we have to get them to school within that 30-minute time period. We're leaving the Y at 7 and have to get back here by 7:25 for the high school. Bus transportation for practice would relieve some of these issues. It would also be beneficial for the kids to develop camaraderie and team bonding. It would assist in getting them to school on time as I sit and pray at every light that it turns green, that I'm not late for school. These athletes deserve to feel like they are a part of being treated just like every other varsity sport in Commack. As that budget season is upon us, we are hoping that you prioritize this in the budget for next year. Please show your support for these student athletes who work so hard, not only academically, but also every day in the pool. They're a wonderful group of students, and they support each other regardless of grade level or skill level. Our last varsity meet for the boys is at Half Hollow Hills next Thursday at 5:30. We would love to see you come out and support Commack and support the swim team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Green card number 3. Green card number 4. Any other green cards? Okay, thank you. Okay.
Okay, at this point, I'd like to have a motion to adjourn the meeting. Can I get a
Motion.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you all for coming tonight.
Thank you.